Hello everyone, welcome back to Pages of Truth, where we're just diving deeper into God's Word, just reading the Bible throughout and Bible studying, taking key notes and key points. Last week we started off with Genesis 1 through 4 and just looking at creation, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, all that good stuff. And today we're going through chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We are going through chapter 5 through 10. And the whole point of this, chapters is really just about Noah and the ark, which is a very famous and popular one, but it's so good that, it never gets old, Obviously, chapter 5 talks about the family of Adam, but it leads into Noah and the ark. So I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. We're going to quickly read through chapter 5 since it isn't as, I don't want to say relevant, but it's a lot of begot, years. So we're just going to brush through that till around the end, talk a little bit, and then we'll go into 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is going to be a great one, so stay tuned and let's do it, guys. All right, Genesis chapter 5. By the way, if you didn't know, I am reading from a New King James Version Bible, so just letting you guys know. Everybody's version might be a little bit different, but all right, Genesis chapter 5, the family of Adam. This is the book of the genealogy of Adam. In the day that God created man, he made him in the likeness of God. Just a quick little stop here. I thought I wasn't going to stop that much, but in the day that God created man, he made him in the likeness of God. Genesis 1:27. He created us in his own image. Just quick. Anyways, he created them male and female and blessed them and called them mankind in the day they were created. And Adam lived 130 years and begot a son in his own likeness, after his image, and named him Seth. And just saying, after his image, saying, he looks like him, essentially, which is kind of how offspring works. So, all connecting it here, right? After he begot Seth, the days of Adam were 800 years, and he had sons and daughters. So all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. Seth lived 105 years and begot Enosh. After he begot Enosh, Seth lived 807 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. Enosh lived 90 years and begot Canaan. After he begot Canaan, Enosh lived 815 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. Canaan lived 70 years and begot Mahalalel. After he begot Mahalalel, Canaan lived 840 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. Mahalalel lived 60 years and begot Jared. After he begot Jared, Mahalalel lived 830 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. Jared lived 162 years and begot Enoch. After he begot Enoch, Jared lived 800 years and had sons and had daughters. So all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. Enoch lived 65 years and begot Methuselah. After he begot Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years and had sons and daughters. Enoch walked with God, right? After he begot his first son, he walked with God, and his life changed. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Verse 24 is saying, it's highlighting how Enoch was different from everybody listed here. Enoch walked with God, and it's specified here, and it's saying that, yes, he died, but he went to heaven with God, right? He went to heaven with God, for God took him. Methuselah, 25. Methuselah lived 187 years and begot Lamech. After he begot Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Methuselah were 69 years, and he died. Lamech lived 182 years and had a son, and he called his name Noah. Key person, saying, This one will comfort us concerning our work and the toil of our hands because of the ground which the Lord has cursed. After he begot Noah, Lamech lived 595 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Lamech were 700 and 77 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Just jump back to verse 29, saying, This one will comfort us concerning our work, right? And the toil of our hands because of the ground which the Lord. This Noah will bring us comfort in the times of destruction. He's going to play a key role in the Great Flood and everything else. So ultimately, Noah is the change. Ultimately, Noah set the change of the world to how it is today. That's my opinion. Now we're heading into chapter 6, which basically marks the start of Noah and the Ark, or the Great Flood, whatever you call it. Here we go. The wickedness and judgment of men. Verse 1. Now it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they choose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh. My spirit may not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh. Verse 3 is a very key verse. The Spirit of the Lord cannot live with us forever because we are flesh. That's why in Matthew 16:24 it says, Then Jesus told his disciples, If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Deny our flesh, deny our worldly self, deny everything in the world, and only follow him, right? Then you jump into Romans 8, verse 13, and it highlights the consequences of living with your flesh versus living with the Spirit, right? And then Galatians 5:16 has a part where it says, Walk with the Spirit. It does not say walk with the flesh, it says walk with the Spirit. And that's why, and this all stems from verse 3 saying, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh. Right? Yet his days shall be 120 years. Verse 4. There were giants on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the Son of God came into the daughters of men, and they were children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, men of renown. Okay. Then the Lord saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord was sorry that he made man on earth, and he was grieved in his own heart. So the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I've created from the face of the earth, both men and beast, creeping things, and birds of the air, for I'm sorry I've made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. That was like the whole first section. So can you imagine the wickedness being so great that even God regrets making us as creations? That's how bad it possibly could have gotten, right? And that's why we cannot let evil take over. And it's horrible that just like it grieved in my heart that I would destroy man. Because why did I create them? This was like the worst thing I made, right? But through it all, God still had support. He still had a backbone, and that was Noah. Because Noah still found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Noah still walked with the Lord. And here we go with Noah pleases God. Verse 9. This is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was a just man, perfect in his generations. Noah walked with God. Just that alone is telling us that all he did was walk with God, and he earned the title of just and perfect in all of his generations because he walked with God. 10. And he begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt, before God, and the earth was filled with violence. So God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on earth. All right, the ark prepared. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence. Like, I am done with humans because all they are is evil, evil, evil. It is time to get rid of you guys, right? Through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. But, this is 14, but he wants to still save Noah for still following him. Out of all of his generations, he's still following him, right? And he says, make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and outside with pitch. And this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. You shall make a window for the ark, and you shall finish it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark in its side. You shall make it with a lower, second, and third decks. And behold, I myself am bringing flood waters on the earth to destroy from under heaven all the flesh, in which is the breath of life. Everything that is on earth shall die. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall go into the ark, you and your sons and your wives, and your sons' wives with you, and every living thing of all flesh you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female, of the birds after their kind, of animals after their kind, and to you to keep them alive. Every creeping thing of the earth after its kind, to every 2 will come to you to keep them alive, and you shall take for yourself all the food that is eaten, and you shall gather it to yourself, and it shall be food for you and for them. 22. Thus Noah did according to all that God commanded him. So he did. That was a lot. So essentially, just to recap it, the earth was filled with so much violence that God had realized, like, okay, well, the only way to get rid of this violence is to destroy the earth and start new, right? And to destroy the earth, he decided, okay, we're going to bring a great flood. And Noah is sent to build the ark, and he takes 2 of each animal and his family and everything in between. And I know it's not like as like serious, but verse 22 to me is probably a very key point. It says, thus Noah did according to all that God commanded him, so he did. Every single thing God has said, Noah did. No hesitation, so he did. So he did, right? That's the key point. We're going to come back to that point again, but just remember that. And keep in mind that this ark that God has prepared for Noah, it's a symbol of salvation, right? It's saying that God is giving him such specific directions because it's going to be a shelter from judgment from the world. And the ark is showing God's mercy, how he's bringing 2 of everything, Noah's sons, his sons' wives, his own wife, every kind of animal, twice, 2 of each, right? It's showing God's mercy on us, how like even still he sees that it's all evil, he's still willing to save, right? Chapter 7, the great flood. Here's a key point. Okay. Then the Lord said to Noah, come into the ark, you and all your household, because I've seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. Again, Noah is so good. Noah is so good. You shall take with you 7 each of every clean animal, a male and his female, 2 each of animal that are unclean, a male and his female. Also 7 each of birds of the air, male and female, to keep the species alive on the face of all the earth, right? For after 7 more days I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And I will destroy from the face of the earth all living things that I have made. And Noah did according to all that God commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood waters were on earth. Look at how old he was, and he's still obeying God. So Noah, with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives, went into the ark because of the waters of the flood, of clean animals, of animals that are unclean, of birds, and of everything that creeps on the earth. 2 by 2, they went into the ark. To Noah, male and female, as God has commanded Noah. 10. And then it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the floods were on the earth. So basically, God gave them 7 days of preparation to bring on the animals. Everybody just get ready. And think about it. God made the earth in 7 days, and he's giving them 7 days of preparation. Okay. Yep. All right. 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, on that day, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the heaven were open, and the rain was on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On the very same day, Noah and Noah's sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of the sons with them entered the ark. They and every beast after its kind, all cattle after their kind, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, every bird of every sort. And they went into the ark to Noah, 2 by 2, all the flesh in which is the breath of life. So those that had entered, male and female of all flesh, went in as God has commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. Now the flood was on the earth 40 days. The waters increased and lifted up the ark, and it rose high above the earth. The waters prevailed and greatly increased on the earth, and the ark moved about on the surface of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly on the earth, and all the high hills under the whole of heaven were crowded. The waters prevailed 15 cubits upward, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved on the earth, birds and cattle and beasts and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, and every man. All in those nostrils was the breath of the spirit of life. All that was on the dry land died. So he destroyed all living things which were on the face of the ground, both man and the cattle, creeping thing, and bird of the air. They were destroyed from the earth. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark remained alive. And the waters prevailed on the earth 150 days. To be patient. It's a big thing. To be patient and wait, knowing that God is in control. To be patient, right? That was all of chapter 7. Look at how fast God created the earth, and look at how fast he can destroy it, right? That shows you how strong the power of God is. Noah was such a just man. And even though God destroyed everything, he still believed in God's plan. He still understood that it was beautifully and wonderfully made, right? And essentially, anything that the Lord commands you to do, do it. Because God will repay you exceedingly more than you can ever think of. And that's what we're going to see later, right? But even so, God already repaid Noah. For Noah following and listening to his commandments, how did God repay him? Saved his life, dude. He saved his life and saved all his children, his wives, everything. He saved all of his family's lives. And that's such a big thing. So every hour, every day, every moment, just honor God, because he'll repay you exceedingly more than you could have ever imagined. He was like, all I did was walk with you, and this is what I get. All I did was build an ark, and this is what I get. You don't know what could happen, right? So just some key points from 7. This whole great flood is just a powerful symbol of God's grace, his cleanliness, and the promise of a new beginning, right? And God saved Noah. He specifically saved Noah and his family because he found favor with God throughout everything. He still, remember in 6, it was like, not 6, was it 6? Yes, I think it was 6. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. But Noah, right? And he was called righteous. He was just among all of his generation. And he only walked with God as the rest of the world resorted to violence and evil. And honestly, he allowed the great flood to happen. God allowed the great flood to happen as a punishment to the wicked and the disobedience. But remembered that even though this huge flood came and that this was a punishment, there's still another punishment to face, and the ultimate punishment comes from the day of judgment. That is the ultimate test. But this is just, there's so many tests seen throughout, and this is just one of them, right? Okay. Chapter 8, Noah's deliverance. Then God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the animals that were with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the earth subsided. God never forgot about Noah. Then God remembered Noah and every living thing. He never forgot about them. He never forgets his people. 2, the fountains of the deep and the windows of heavens were also stopped. The rain from heaven was restrained, and the waters receded continually from earth. At the end of the 150 days, the waters decreased. The ark rested in the 7th month. Can you imagine? 5 months, all rain, flood everywhere. Can't even imagine. You see rain for a week and you're tired. Could you imagine? The 17th day of the month of the mountains of Arat. 5, the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. So it wasn't even done by then. We still got the 10th month in here. And in the 10th month, on the first day of the month, the tops of the mountains were seen. So we're not even done yet. So it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. Then he sent out a raven, which kept going to and fro until the waters had dried up from the earth. He also sent out from himself a dove to see if the waters had receded from the face of the ground. But the dove found no resting place for the sole of her foot, and she returned into the ark to him, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. So he put out his hand and took her, and he drew her into the ark to himself, and he waited yet another 7 days, and again he sent the dove out from the ark. Then the dove came to him in the evening, and behold, a freshly plucked olive leaf was in her mouth. And no one knew that the waters had receded from the earth. So he waited yet another 7 days and sent out a dove, which did not return again to him any more. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the 1st month, and the 1st day of the month, that the waters were dried up from the earth, and the ground was dried up from the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and indeed the surface of the ground was dry. New Year's Day, 1st month of the 1st day, New Year's Day, the world has reset. New Year's is a holiday. The world is reset, right? I want to pause here before I continue. Noah sent out the dove and the raven to see if the waters dried. And notice how he sent them every 7 days, because that's how long it took God, right? That 7 is such a key number throughout the Bible. And that 40 days and 40 nights, right? And waiting a whole week is a lot. It's a lot. And Noah still had patience. He wasn't in a rush, and he waited and waited until the seas were dry, until the seas were dried up. You have to have patience like Noah and trust God's plan, no matter how long it takes. Months it took him. 11 months. And he still trusted God. 11 months of waiting. Okay. Okay. Just had to get that out. 14. And the second month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth had dried. Wow. So basically, it took them a whole year. Then God spoke to Noah, saying, "Go out on the ark, you, your wives, and your son, and your son's wife with you. Bring out with you every living thing of all flesh that is with you, birds and cattle, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, so that they may abound on the earth and be fruitful and multiply on the earth." Here we go to that first original commandment, right? So Noah went out, and his sons and his wife and his son's wife with him. Every animal, every creeping thing, every bird, and whatever creeps on the earth, according to their families, went out of the ark. What a beautiful story of the great flood, right? And just keep in mind, let me just finish this chapter. God's covenant with creation. Verse 20. Then Noah built an altar to God and took every clean animal of every clean bird and offered burnt offerings to the altar. And the Lord smelled a soothing aroma. The Lord said in his heart, "I will never again curse the ground for man's sake. Although the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth, nor will I again destroy every living thing as I have done. Nor again will I basically disown this earth, because I don't like how much evil is in it, even though they're evil from the start." You have to make that change, right? 22. While the earth were made, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, and day and night shall not cease. Let's just look at it. The smallest commandments. Then, okay, we're going to go to verse 15. Then God spoke to Noah, saying, "Go out of the ark." What did he do? He went out of the ark. The smallest commandments, Noah would do it. He would never wait, right? And essentially, his covenant is he promises to never destroy the earth again. And he says that even from your young age, there will be evil in your heart. And that's why we have to remain strong in our faith, right? And for as long as the earth is here, it will never die. But how much better can you be compared to all the evil that is around you? How can you be like Noah? That's what you got to think about. Chapter 9. So God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. And the fear for you and the dread of you shall be on every beast of the earth, on every bird of the air, and on all that move on the earth, and on all the fish of the sea. They are given into your hand. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. I have given you all things, even as the green herbs, but you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is its blood. Surely for your life blood I will demand a reckoning. From the hand of every beast I will require it, and from the hand of man. From the hand of every man's brother I will require the life of man." Verse 6, very key point here. "Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God he has made man." Right? He made man. You should never kill anyone, because we are all God's creation. We are all brothers and sisters. Why would you want to murder your own brother and sister? It's insane. And essentially God is saying, like, if you kill, at the end of the day, you're only killing yourself. There is no good to ever come out of murder, right? Verse 7. And as for you, be fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply in it. Okay, guys, we're almost done. Bear with me now. Then God spoke to Noah and his sons with him, saying, And as for me, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the cattle, and every beast of the earth with you, of all that go out on the ark, every beast of the earth. Thus I establish my covenant with you. Never again shall all flesh be cut off the water of the flood. Never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. This is just reiterating the covenant that he said a couple sentences ago. And God said, This is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for the perpetual generations, for generations to come, right? I set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. It shall be when I bring a cloud over the earth that the rainbow shall be seen in the cloud, and I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. The water shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. The rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I will look on it to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on earth. And God said to Noah, This is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on earth. God's covenant is establishing that a flood will never destroy earth, and it will never destroy mankind ever again, even though we are all rotten evil from the core. And he'll use the rainbow as a symbol to remember this covenant, right? Noah and his sons. Now the sons of Noah who went out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Ham was the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and from these the whole earth was populated. And Noah began to be a farmer, and he planted a vineyard. Then he drank of the wine and was drunk, and became uncovered in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it both on their shoulders, and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned away, they did not see their father's nakedness. So Noah woke up from his wine and knew that his younger son had done to him. Then said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants, he shall be to his brethren. And he said, Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and may he dwell in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. So all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. So Ham saw the nakedness of his fathers and went ahead and told his brothers, and his brothers then took a cloth and covered him, knowing that his father was drunk with wine, right? And then Noah curses Canaan, right? And everything in between, to be a servant as his brothers are then blessed, right? All right, and just to wrap us out here, nations descended from Noah. This is chapter 10. Here we go. Now this is the genealogy of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and the sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Mesh, and Tyrus. The sons of Gomer were Ashnik, Rephith, and Togarmah. Ooh, these are hard. The sons of Javan were Elisha, Tarish, Kitman, and Dodamah. From these, the coastland peoples of the Gentiles were separated into their lands, everyone according to his language, according to their families, and put into their nations, right? The sons of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush were Sheba, Havilah, Sabbath, Ramath, Sebech. And the sons of Ramath were Sheba and Dedan. Cush begot Nimrod, and he began to be a mighty one of the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. He lets go. There it is said, like Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of this kingdom was Babel, Eric, Akkad, and Calneh. In the day of Shinar, from that land he went to Israel and built Neviah, Rehoboth, Ir, Kala, and Rezin between Neviah and Kala, that is principal city. Rezin begot Ludum, and then Labam, Nepithim, Path, Rizim, and Kalashim, from who came the Philistines and Caphram. Canaan begot Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, the Jebusite, the Amorite, and the Girishite, the Hivite, the Archite, and the Sinite, the Avarite, the Jarmut, the Hamadite. Afterward, the family of Canaanites were dispersed, and the border of the Canaanites was from the Sidon. As you go toward Gerar, as far as Gaza, then you go towards Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zebam, as far as Lasha. There were the sons of Ham, according to their families, according to their languages, in their lands, and in their nations. And the children were born also to Shem, the father of all children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, and the elder. The sons of Shem were Elm, Ashrath, Arvaphad, Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram were Uz, Hul, Gether, Mash. Aram begot Selah, Selah begot Eber. To Eber were born 2 sons, the name of which was Pegleg, for his days on the earth was divided, and his brother was Jokan. Jokan begot Almond, Seleth, Hazreph, Jerah, Hadara, Zula, Dikla, Obla, Emel, Sheba, Oprah, Havel, and Jobah. All these were the sons of Jokan, and these were dwelling place from Mesha, as you go towards Sephar, the mountain of the east. These were the sons of Shem according to their families, according to their languages, in their lands, according to their nations. These were the families of the son of Noah, according to their generations, in their nations, and from these nations were divided on earth after the flood. Wow, that was a lot. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me in reading these chapters. It was a lot. We covered a lot, but just as a quick reflection before I leave and end this video, I just wanted to say that essentially what you should have learned is faith over anything in this world. Faith over the world, right? Noah stood out in times of such wickedness. Generations, he didn't follow the crowd. He wasn't a tailor. He was the head. He was the head of his generation, and he stood out and continuously followed God. And I also want you guys to realize God's mercy in judgment, that he will always prove faithful. He will always find a way out for those who are faithful to him. He found a way out for Noah, even though he's destroyed the whole entire earth, right? Next, the ark and Jesus. Jesus is our ark from external judgment, right? He's our ark, so use him to take all that judgment away. And then lastly, covenant and promises. God keeps his word all the time. He will always keep his word no matter what. And that's where we are ending off for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope we all were able to learn something new, dive deeper in, and looking at Noah's patience, looking at God's mercy on us, and just like realizing like how much power God has, which I think we'll see in every single video, how much power he has. Let me know what you would like to see in the next video. Thank you so much for watching today's video as we read Genesis chapter 5 through 10, which was a bigger chunk, but we did it fast and we did it great. Sorry for all the mispronunciation. I tried my best, and I also wanted to give a great thank you to everybody who has subscribed and shown a lot of support over this past week. I definitely saw everything, and I'm so grateful, and I can't wait to dive into another story with you guys, another set of chapters with you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below anything you want to comment down below. Always looking to hear whatever you guys want to share. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a blessed week. And come back to this whenever you just want a Bible study. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.